All right, I guess we're live.
Okay. Click of a
So,
button.
the first question:
Hey there,
Trotsky
chat.
versus Otto von Bismarck in a cage match. Bismarck's
What
going
was
to
it?
beat the shit out of him.
Who was it again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Trotsky,
Uh, fuck, I don't
Leon
even know.
Trotsky versus Otto von Bismarck.
Who would you go with?
Bismarck.
Yeah, I probably would go with Bismarck. I don't
Trotsky
remember
was
what
a
Trotsky
pussy.
looks like.
Oh, he's a fucking small dude. He was a pussy. He had his ideas, I guess, that he thought were good, and he wrote them down. And he had a lot of objections to like the way the Soviets were running things.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, Leon Trotsky was just all. He was like a fucking hipster that like writes poetry that just got popular. You know, he's one of those fuckers. And yeah, I mean, whatever. So no, it's
How is
yeah.
it? No, go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything,
I got Wi-Fi lag today, so it's like I'm not used to this.
dude. My shit's been lagging really bad lately. And yeah, people give me shit. Oh, how's that Starlink working out for you? Well, I think it's my browser, and I don't know. It's sometimes I might have to clear my cache, but
Right.
who knows?
Well, the problem is with me, it's like I am normally on the high end mic running stuff for like Scuttle, and it's just like I'm on an AirPod on a computer that's probably 10 years old at this point.
Yeah, nobody
Now
gives a
it's
fuck. You're coming through loud and clear, so
okay, good.
yeah, you're fine.
Because it's like it's my audio engineer like
Oh,
brain
I
going
know.
like,
To you, this is like cringe.
yeah,
This is like me
this is
wearing a
the
fucking
cringe.
shirt I bought from Goodwill and some pants with a fucking like regular canvas belt to a World War One reenactment. That's the anxiety, right?
Right.
It's like nope, 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 nope.
How
But
do you normally have chat pulled up just to have eyes on it?
I can send you the link. Otherwise, it's in. It should be in Streamyard with comments.
Oh, okay. You just click
Yeah.
on that. Okay.
Yep.
There, I see it now. Thank you.
Yep.
I was gonna pull up the stream and pop out a window and all the stuff from like early 2000 or late 2010s at this point how to do live stuff. And I was just like, all right, where is it?
Yeah,
That's
it's a
funny.
little bit. It's a lot easier now. So yeah,
Yeah, it used to be
it's
really hard.
so much easier. So I like to get your M41 on with the 29th. You know, get your little corporal chevrons on, and
Which one do I have? Oh yeah, this is my older jacket.
yeah,
It's funny because I was walking around the house because I'm gutting out stuff out of my parents' place today, and it was funny. It was like stuff's been like in a room for 10 years, and I don't have any clothes here, and I had the jacket here with all my stuff from the last event I went to, and I was just like, I'm fucking freezing here because my parents keep like the temperature at like not 70, like 62. And
oh,
it's just
that's
like,
chilly. Yeah,
yeah, so I was like, I need a fucking jacket. I'm sitting in the sunroom and it's like there's a draft here. So I was like, where's a jacket? It was the only one I had. I couldn't find a hoodie or anything. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just
oh
wear
no,
it.
okay, yeah, good excuse. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
wanted to just show it off to the fucking world. Look at me, I'm a
Right.
29th reenactor. Look at me, I'm
Yeah.
so fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, I want that. I want my bearded doofus face wearing a 41 and showing that all reenactors are perfect.
Well,
Like
if they would have had it, they would have done it.
yeah. If a guy in a foxhole had a beard like me, he's either what would all reenactors say to keep their beards is they're a mountain troop or they were like 48 days in Africa or something.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, you got a beard like you're coming out, and your M41's gonna look a little bit more frayed and shitty.
Yeah.
You know, because I
This
mean, yeah,
yeah. This is a beard like you think World War II hasn't ended for 30 years. Like it's that
right.
kind of beard.
Yeah, it's gotta be, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
no, it's just it's
If you
not
find
it's
a
not
guy in a
good.
foxhole wearing tattered fucking clothes with a beard like that, holding an M1 rifle, you go, "Hey, it's us, buddy. It's
Yeah, right.
hey, we're good. We're here. We're here. Everything's okay. Like,
And
what's
that
going on? You
and
know?
that and that's the crazy thing. It's like I'll do. I guess if we're going to start reenacting subject topic matter, it's like I'm cursed because I can grow this super fast, but like
Yeah,
by you know or by 9 a.m. I have a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's like
just use a 1.
oh fuckers, Jesus Christ.
No,
Ugh.
he did not fuck you on that. He was like serious, and he's like, yeah, use a 1.
No.
Yeah,
No,
but there was
no,
this,
it wasn't.
the
It
whole
wasn't. It
yeah, the whole
wasn't.
way.
It wasn't the barber's fault. It was.
No, it was not. He was a
no.
fucking awesome dude. I'm glad he got to have tacos with us. And
Yeah.
shout out to Sean, fucking awesome. We made those together. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was a fun time. But no, it's like the barber was fucking amazing, and he's a really stand-up dude. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Yep.
He was really good.
Because
No,
online, like back in the day, like we had talked about this, we had butted heads online,
right.
and then when we met, it was just like, oh, we're good.
Right.
You
It
know, we
wasn't
both
like,
grew, and like we were like, oh fuck yeah, we're on the same page. So I'm gonna
Right.
grab my water really quick.
Yeah. No.
I literally forgot it. So
I'll be the bearded gatekeeper here, I guess. Although it sounds like you can still talk, right? No, he's gone.
I can, but I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. He's not giving you the privilege. Let me see who we have in here. The 3 guys. So Joseph.
No, I'll tell you about shit after the stream. But
okay.
I need to be drinking water, and I have not been. So I need to drink water.
It's your dehydration. Yeah, I mean, I'm down in liquid death right now. I actually got like.
Oh yeah, that shit's really good. Like,
mm-hmm.
You know, the Fat Electrician made a video on that whole company, like reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good job because he's like, who else could fucking sell canned water to people
right
for $2 a can or whatever, unless you've got a good marketing strategy? And then like he goes into the whole thing.
Dude, like I remember before they came out with the flavors and the teas and stuff, like I bought them once and it's like $19 for 8 cans or $17 for like 8 cans of sparkling water. I'm like, why the fuck did I do that?
Right.
And then it's like, but with tea and stuff, it's like you trick yourself to justify it. So it's like, you know, and then it's just addicted. So it's just like, you know, I'll just the armless Palmers are like what I go for now. Dude, and if I can't get them for a steal, it's like,
that's what I go for too. It's like it's iced tea, but it doesn't have like a super like lethal dose of caffeine, because I'm super sensitive to caffeine, as we've talked about before, you and I. But like, I think I fried my fucking system on deployment, like, because
I think the amount of caffeine I ingested for Revelie's editing, I think would have killed you.
Doubt it. I think it was probably on the same amount, the same level. I was doing
brutal.
Yeah, I was doing we got Rip Its, and they were shorty cans. So it was like a half a can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would drink 12 to 15 of those every day, plus about 4 or 5 of those shock like iced coffee energy drink things.
Jesus. Okay, no, you beat me. No, you beat me.
No, and then 2 pots of coffee, like regular coffee.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay.
No,
and that was just to stay awake when we were over there.
Right.
And then I got back, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna quit. And then it was dumb.
It took me 3 months to get off of the caffeine.
Yeah.
From Revelie's intake of doing that, staying up and pulling like, you know.
Yeah, you were pulling some fucking mad hours. And
yeah, that was brutal. That was.
I remember there were some nights where I just couldn't sleep, and I'm like, oh, I got on the computer. Oh, he's still up, and I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, you're still up? Yep. Can you help me with this? Yep. Okay. So we get on, and then all of a sudden it's like 4 a.m. And then we're like, oh shit, it's 4 a.m. Fuck. And I was like, Nate, go to sleep. Well, yeah, but I have to be up and go to sleep for a couple hours. Just fucking do that. Like, yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that was during the 48 days of sleeping on the couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like you were like doing the fucking crazy shit, just like the
well, you know,
this is how it's gotta be. This is, you know, yeah.
It's sleep deprived, you know.
Oh yeah.
Madness. I mean, it
but you also have a drive like that. A lot of people that I've met do not have a drive like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're onto something, you're like, oh, this is gonna get done. This is gonna fucking. Once you get onto it,
Right.
it's like you just fucking are there.
I mean, it's ADHD procrastination to the nth degree.
Well, it's a little bit more extreme than that, I think. It's because
it's that
you'll put it
dopamine
off
hit.
because exactly. But
Yeah.
you'll put things off for a bit, and then all of a sudden you're like, when you do get into it, you're fucking 100%. And it's like, okay, all right,
Roger.
and then you burn your fucking self out,
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, I'm good, I'm good. Your eyes are fucking bloodshot. They're like almost bleeding. They're so red. No, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. No, hey.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was many hours of trying to blend 4 different days of raindrops off that cave to make it sound like a coherent day.
That was because I learned a lot about editing from you. Not like I'm an expert or anything. I'm nowhere near, but like I learned a lot about like the process of like watching somebody who's professional like actually edit a film, right? And I was like, because you're just sitting there going, I'm trying to follow, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so. And you're like, yeah, so, and you would take the time to explain to whoever was listening, and like, hey, the rain's a problem, and here's why. And then you show us, what you've corrected. You're like, this is the problem, and like blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's a lot of work. And like I didn't realize any of that shit, because it was my first rodeo. But then, it was cool to learn about editing. And like then after that, you've been helping me with Premiere, which I thought was like I could never do it. I'm like, oh, it's too complicated. But like seeing you, I'm like, oh, I could do the basic shit. And then it's oh yeah. But
it's night and day, because I mean I remember what you told me what you were using, and I was like, dude, you need
Movie Maker
update.
Pro,
update. I was like, I haven't used that since 2009. I was like, that's what I made YouTube videos on. Like I made like like cringy ass music to fucking war film fucking montages of that era. And that's what I used for Movie Maker. And I remember I like stretched the ability of that program a lot, and because you couldn't have, this was when you could only have single tracks, you couldn't have double tracks.
No, you still, well, as far as I know, as far as I knew, it's not a fact, but like you can't, it's a single track. That's when you told me that you could have 2, 3, 4 tracks and like edit it this way, I was like, oh shit.
Right. Well, the funniest thing is that the way I used to try to combat that, because you couldn't have multiple you couldn't cut back and forth to things, because you had to have like very certain finite adjust. It was like something very weird, and I remember I had to. That was it, to get audio from another track on the audio that I wanted. I had to completely render out the whole entire video, and then overlay the audio underneath, then re-render it again, and then start it back up, because I had to like render each section to get the adjustments.
Yes, that's what I was doing, and it was just not good. And then after observing you editing Revelate and everything, I was like, oh, I think I can do the basic bitch level thing. And you're like, yeah, if you got any questions, just fucking you have my number. And I'm like, oh well. And then Selfie was like, yeah, you should be using Premiere.
Yeah.
And
if you get the suites, like you can learn basic stuff, like for example, like for boosting audio and working audio stuff, it's like but Audition's the way to go.
Yeah, Audition is really good. We talked about this though. Like I personally learn better if like somebody's there showing me how to do it, and then I go, oh, got it. And that's why like when you said, because you gave me that offer and I didn't take you up on that for months, and then one day I'm like, Nate, I need help. And you're like, yeah, let's go. Let's just do it.
Right.
And then it was like, oh shit, I can do that. Oh fuck. And then it was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then it's like, yeah.
And then the moment you got a better computer for everything, for your
that
business and stuff,
lot.
I mean that that's the floodgates right there. I mean,
Yeah, because the rendering, the rendering and exporting process took like a fucking hour and a half on my old.
I remember it
shitty
crashed your
laptop.
laptop.
It crashed my laptop.
Yeah,
and then I was like, fuck, and then I didn't lose it. Okay, cool. And then the new one, it's like 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1.
done.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What a fuck?
It's,
like, you know.
And you'll never go back. And then that was the other
no.
thing I told you. I was like, get a desktop, don't get a laptop. And you're like, I don't know, I like the mobility. And now
you and everybody else,
the first day you got it, you're like, I'm never going back.
Yep.
Like,
No, there's no fucking way.
There's no way. Like,
there's no way.
Even sitting here on this laptop, like, I'm dreading the fact that I don't have my command center in front of me. Like, normally I'm like,
so you've got anxiety.
Normally I'm like this.
Yeah.
You know, you see me in my setup, and I'm just
I've got exactly eight monitors, and I am.
I have 3, but yeah, we'll go with 8.
You know what I'm trying to mimic? But like, I've got 8 monitors, and I've got 6 keyboards, and I use one of them at all times.
I don't remember what that is.
It's the. Never mind.
Okay.
I don't want to get it flagged. I don't want to get the stream zapped. But yeah, I mean, fucking
yeah.
But,
no, it's no like the whole editing stuff. I mean, it's night and day when you have new tech and the latest. Not the latest and greatest, just the latest within the last 5 years.
No, just something that works, you know. It's like, it's not like fucking pulling teeth to get it to fucking work constantly. Yeah. And it's really cool. And then, you know, watching you and then like you coaching me through like how to use Premiere in the basic sense, which is all that I asked, is like, it was like you said, night and day. It's like, well, this is fucking okay. I'll drop something into Premiere and then bam, here we go.
And it just saves you so much headache.
Yeah,
especially when you're doing like graphics or anything like that, and then just imagine combining that with like After Effects and stuff like that. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Right, and then it was funny because when you were editing Reveille, you had like probably 8 or 9 fucking lines all at once that was happening.
Oh, dude, that I mean, like,
and you're just like you're just clicking around them like it was nobody's business, and I'm like.
There's probably a lot better ways to do that now, because my education or my intro to that education level was back in the probably early teens. So, you know, like that's the old way to do it. I'm sure there's a lot better ways to
but if it works for you, which it does.
It does. It's just chaotic. Fuck.
Oh, it's very chaotic. Like you're sitting there
doing all those audio mixtures of all the different impacts we did when that night you and I sat down, and was that Jake that we had on?
Yep. It was.
Oh, okay. So I hadn't met him before. Okay. Like sitting down and then just like changing it up and doing all that stuff. I mean, like, you know, you're going
we were sitting there fine fucking tuning it, and it was like it took several days. But we eventually got to a point where both Jake and I were like, yes, that's good to go. And you're like, okay. And then after we get those single audio files they're multiple, but like, you know, isolated and everything, then you go, all right, I have to plug these in here. And then you're like,
right. And it's just copying and pasting it into different ways. And then like there are better ways to do it. But the way I was doing was forgiveness. So like, it was chaotic, but you could change it around and easily tweak something. So if or in our case, to make, you know, maybe 6 different alternatives and then change up those 6 different alternatives to another 14, because we had so many things to varying degree of difference. Because if you play the same sound over and over and over and over and over again, your brain gets used to
exactly.
It
I forgot about that, because we would isolate a sound and like we would all agree on it that it's good, and then you had to make variations of that, and then, you know, like it's
what we were trying to do, like some kind of like, I don't know, like whistling impact, something like that. And I remember you were trying to describe it to me. You're like, it's like a banshee scream, and I literally I don't think we ended up using it. But I think I like took something and then I like researched it to, you know, pull it into, and then like we like tweaked like someone. I think it was like a cat screaming.
Oh yeah.
And then,
oh
and
my
then
god, I
tweaked
forgot
it
about
down
that.
the decibels. Yeah, we were trying to make it work,
Yeah.
and it almost did, but it just sounded too artificial, and we bailed on it.
Yeah,
but
but
I
we had
remember,
for the actual incoming, like the for a rocket
yeah,
or artillery in
it
general.
was literally like a viral cat somewhere on a video, and I
Yeah.
ripped that out. And I
Yeah. Oh, I forgot
reversed
about
it,
that.
and then I
Yeah.
reversed it. Actually, I think we kept it because I think it turned into a good like that, but it was a lower decibel. We were going for like a Banshee's high
Yeah.
whistle, and I think it ended up being a lower tone because I just tweaked it and made the decibels
Yeah, that was
and the pitch lower.
that was a
and tweaked
bitch,
it
but you were
around.
just like, because we were kind of at a stop point.
It's
at that point where,
experimenting.
we're like,
It's literally
fuck,
like you're
what are we
mixing a
doing?
pot together.
You're like, give me a day, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Mhm.
And then you had pulled up all these fucking sound files, and we went through that. And yeah, I forgot about that completely. The screech, because I was like, Jake and I both were like, it doesn't have the screech like the for rockets or the for artillery.
Yeah,
and we're
and
like,
that was just
how do
messing
we
with
do
pitch because
Yeah.
a lot of people think like when you do sound design, you have to either get the actual thing or you have to find something at least close to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can take essence of life and make it into whatever you want as long as you know the tools and the tactics to tweak stuff around.
Well, you did that a lot with the fucking the sound effects, like the crunching, like with the celery and shit. It's
oh god, all that impact, right?
What the hell?
God,
what the hell's?
I sent you it was Muller's jaw impact.
No, but like, what was it? It's right at the tip of my fucking tongue. What is that called when you do that? Like the sound effects, the
Foley.
Foley, yes. Foley.
Okay.
I was gonna say say something else, but like it started with an F. But no, so Foley. I was gonna say like Foley or something like that.
Right, Foley. Like.
Yeah. So Foley. So when you did that for his jaw effect,
mm-hmm.
you know, because okay, so for those of you guys who are watching right now, Nate he's a friend of mine. He was the editor for Reveille, and he's also the guy who edits everything for Scuttlebutt, the podcast that you should definitely be subscribed to. We review war movies, and we just do it. Oh, by the way, I was talking to Steve Gerard earlier, right? And he said for you guys, because I think it was you and Brian that did Behind Enemy Lines.
Yes.
Because Mike and I couldn't make it that week.
Yes.
And so Steve says, thank you so much for just saying that this was a war that's completely forgotten about.
Oh yeah, it was either me or Brian. I can't remember.
Yeah, but it was one of you guys, and like you guys said that, and then but we all know that.
Yeah.
You know, but we're also nerds, and it's a very niche thing. But like he said, like personally, he said thank you so much for just saying that it's forgotten about, because a lot of bad shit went down in the 90s in the Balkans.
Oh yeah,
and
a lot of stuff was looked.
Oh my god,
and still is forgotten. But yeah, no, for Scuttlebutt and stuff like that, like, it's the weekly roundup for my life, and pulling those late hours and editing stuff while I'm off, because we all do this on our off time, so it's fun. So when I make those errors or things are a little less rendered, it's normally my fault because I've forgotten to click a button. So it's normally
here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. It's the same concept as that guy that was giving you shit about your lisp, which you don't really have.
No, it's only when I'm like really tired.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, I lit him up in the comments and he just went ouch to me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. How about that? Shut up.
Yeah. No,
fucking God. But it's just little nitpicky shit like that. But I don't think people are gonna give a fuck, because we do our best with what we have, and it's all raw. That's why I like the experience.
The way I always describe it, even when my neighbors found out about it, which was terrifying, it pretty much, it's just, reviewing. We do a weekly review of just war movies, any kind of time, and we just talk about it. It's literally so informal that Mike comes every week, and we all, it's me, Mike A, Mike B, and Brian and myself, and we just sit down and talk about war movies, and it's literally just like a free flowing conversation with some structure, but it's normally just talking about stuff and having fun about it, and then just talking about film
to it. But yeah, we just when we go, we just we talk and we just again, it's like a normal conversation. And I think a lot of conversations get fucking so produced on YouTube and shit. That's all I do at Friday Night Shy is because you and I are just talking right now how we talk off being filmed or like being
Right.
recorded.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we would just talk like this, and that's why I like Scuttlebutt is because it's a fucking it's a bunch it's four fucking retards, and some occasionally we have guests and everything, which are awesome. And some weeks one of us can't make it or two of us can't make it, but we always make it work.
Yeah.
And it's just us clowns watching the same film and then just talking about it.
Right. In different degrees of
Yeah,
expertise in the subject,
exactly.
to I guess to date this week we did 317 Platoon,
That was a fucking
and
surprisingly good film. Yeah.
I don't know dick about Indonesia, so I
Indochina.
normally was fuck. See, there you go. I was
Fucking
quiet.
retard. Oh, you
I was
moron. Oh god.
I was very quiet that one because I just don't know anything about that time.
No,
Anything to go with that,
but
other than
also like,
weaponry.
but there's things that you did know, and you were like, as far as filmmaking and editing, this is what I saw. This is what I saw. Blah blah blah. And
Right, yeah.
so it's like everybody in our little group of clowns has their own like area where it's, oh, I do know about this, so I'm going to chime in here. But most of the time we just chime in and it's a free flowing conversation.
Yeah, and for the
This is awesome.
and for the most the cool thing about it's like, if I don't know anything about the history, I can at least talk about film and editing and sound and
Correct.
of the time, because this was 1965.
So
yep. It's that expertise of running stuff on film and the challenges with film, and so it deserves to be respected. And all films pretty much before digital need to be respected in that way, just because I love them actually. But it's like, it really, really does need to be put into light, because the difference between a film now and a film then is astronomically different. There's still challenges in both of them. We have an easier time with some things that they probably had very hard time with, and vice versa. But it's like, it's to understand and learn and to talk about it. And so, like, if Mike doesn't know X about filmography, but he knows enough about the history, you combine that in a conversation. That's pretty much what the pod is, which is great.
Yeah, and I love it. It's so fucking fun, because there's a lot of times where it's like, if it's a certain subject, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the guy that they're gonna be asking questions to, and I know that. Right. And there's other times where I'm like, I have no fucking clue, and then you guys will be the ones who talk about it and everything. And it's just like, that's how we talk just in normal life, like just bullshitting.
Right. Exactly. And it's the same thing. I mean, like, I have to do some editing for, saving Brian's career one edit at a time, but also the fact that,
and also got kids. Whoops.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, I have to do that, and I have to.
But I do that on purpose a lot of times.
Right? No, I know.
I have to just say fuck you. But
it's YouTube. It's YouTube.
Oh, I get it.
We're constantly because we're trying to get more stuff on the platform and stuff like that, and we're trying to get some form of, because once you get past like the monetization part, it's like the algorithm picks you up to a certain point and picks you up and moves you forward. We're just trying to get past that. Right now, I'm fighting bot authorization because Brian posts shorts to the channel to drive traffic from movies and stuff, and the bots are playing it as copyright stuff. So I'm having to fight that right now. And
so what I'm saying is, like, it's a fucking whatever, but like, it's overall, like, the whole thing, you're gonna have your snags with any project you do, right?
Yeah.
And this fucking pod is fun as shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we get on there every week, even if we're all having a fucking shitty day, like really shitty day. It's like, all right, well, for the next 2 hours, we're going to record this. We're going to escape this. And we just fucking go and we talk and we laugh and we
unless it's Passchendaele or Hyena Road or fucking Tunnel Rats.
Well, but we still laugh, and we don't laugh at each other, but we have fun. Like, Tunnel Rats was so fucking.
You talk about your trauma with other people who've experienced your same trauma, so you work through
Tunnel
it.
Rats was Hyena Road, again, like I said on the podcast, like I would rather watch Hyena Road 100 times than watch this piece of shit again. You know,
Yeah,
like
and that's why Tunnel Rats is now the worst film in my book.
it's
I've
the
said it
worst. It's
multiple
so
times.
fucking bad. It's egregiously bad.
Yeah.
It's not even like you watch it, you go, ha ha ha, ha funny, huh? It's so bad.
No,
Go,
you don't
oh
smile.
my
You
god.
just sit there and you go.
Yeah, my whole expression was probably this most of the time, just going.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when is this going to be over? Is this ever going to be over?
When does this misery fucking end, please,
No.
for the love of God?
But then we've watched movies recently that are really good.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
it's been back to back really good films all the way through.
I just gave the one this week a high score, like, and it's not being hyperbolic. I'm like, that's what I think. Like,
no,
it was
same with me.
You know, so
Yeah,
and I know none of us are
worth it.
Our scores are actually really valid because, again, we're all over the place, like with our expertise and our experience and everything with film and everything like that. And so that's why I respect the hell out of our scores. I think they're actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and we've gotten, and I'll be very honest. It's like our scores have gotten better in terms of judgment because it used to be like, oh, they don't have this thing, fucking two.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and then they kind of like, they adapt to where we go. Okay, now I see why that. Okay, but there was these redeeming factors and qualities. Does it outweigh it? I think our scale's gotten better and more forgiving, but that's the same thing that you do with any kind of like rating system, right?
Yeah, your rating system adjusts and adapts to.
Really quick, I gotta take a piss.
So sure, I'll take a look at the chat and
yeah. Somebody asked what group of 29ers you run with. So.
Oh, geez.
Have fun.
Yeah. I run with 116th Company A. Normally, it's the guys who pretty much what Bedford Boys is based off of. It's that group of guys. We're East Coast. If you can't tell from my accent, I'm from the East Coast. So, but I've been doing 29th for probably about, oh Jesus, doing my mental math here. Close to almost 18, 19 years now. So I'm probably the older generation, I guess, at this point. But yeah, we do a bunch of events all up and down the year and all up and down the East Coast mainly. But it's mainly from, most of our guys are from Virginia all the way up to Ohio. And so we're kind of all smattered around all over the place. I hope that answered your question at least. But yeah, no, it's a wonderful. I mean, I've been doing it for so long now. The hobby is evolving. I don't know in a good way, but it's evolving. And I think, the hardest thing right now is getting the next generation of kids into this, because when I joined, I was 17. I'm in my 30s now, so it's like, the problem is that we're getting kids that come in, but they either fall off and just stop doing it, or they don't want to spend the money. Granted, the reenacting almost 20 years ago is a lot cheaper now than it is now, so as everything. But it's definitely hard. Sorry, I just read Andrew's comment. That's funny. Yeah, you can thank Brian for that one. This movie is a product of its time. You might have been the one who said "bless your hearts" in the comment, because I think we've adapted that as well. Maybe not. Someone said it in a comment, and we took it as as a phrase to say we thought it was really funny. Because I have a attached to reenacting. I got a lot of Southern guys, mainly from Virginia, and a lot of them are old. They're older than me. They're probably in their 50s and 60s. And my favorite thing for them to say is "bless your heart," because it's kind of like a subtle "fuck you." So it's like when I hear them say that to people who are not from the South, let's say North, it's so fucking funny to hear that. It's probably one of the favorite thing. But yeah, no, I'm glad you like that. There's a couple other ones. There's I'm sure Mike can hear me, but my favorite one is I need to do a new intro. We're 90. at almost 90 episodes deep now, and I feel like we have enough content to make something, and I need to get on that. And one of the things I need to do is I need to make a ridiculous intro to the whole entire thing, and hopefully we'll be able to make something from all the quotes that Mike has said, or I have said, or Brian has said, or Mike A has said. Mike is bathroom or chugging water.
I was bathroom, and then I had to let the fucking weasel horse out because
okay.
Well, of course. Oh, I'm gonna go poop. I'm gonna go poop. You know, it's like fucking. It's actually cold today, and it's like windy and shitty.
Mine's passed out over there, and with the kitchen table just completely out.
That's it took so long, so my bad. But I was hearing you. I
figured you were hearing me. I just was.
Well, it was like cutting out when I was outside because like the dog, he's like black and brown, and so he's very hard to see at night. He's dope.
I have a pure black dog, so I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like, where the fuck is he? And then all of a sudden I'm yelling, I'm like, Cody! And all of a sudden I see this like thing moving.
It's
and it's him taking a shit down where he should be, and I'm like,
right.
Oh, his ass is down facing the ground. Okay, we're good to go. All right,
it's the curled back.
Yeah, the curled back, and he's just like he walks when he shits. He's not one of those dogs that like just shits in one pile. No, if he shits, it's fucking he moves.
So he's laying breadcrumbs. Come here. He's laying breadcrumbs for you to find.
Do you want to be on camera or do you not? If you don't want to be on camera, go lay the fuck down. Oh yeah, he backs up. Oh no, this is my food. This is not yours. Go away. Go lay down. Anyway, you were talking about the intro and the comments that we got from about movie is a product of its time.
I don't remember who said that, but someone mentioned it in a comment. And
I see that.
Brian always says this movie is a product of its time, and then we've all kind of adapted because it's true. And then someone in the comments, and I think it was this Andrew guy. He said it's like bless your heart in the south, quote. And then we started saying that
about
it might have been. I remember someone commenting on one of the videos there. It's so funny that we picked it up.
Yeah, because whenever Brian says that, I'm always like, okay, you can't like we don't do video yet, but like we do. This is how we record it. We just get on StreamYard or whatever the fuck service works.
We see each other to have.
We see each other, and then we just record on. I'm not in my good mic right now, but like we record on our good mics, and like we're good to go. And so there's a lot of that of like when Brian says, oh, it's a product of its time. I just go, yeah. The facial, and then you're like, well, what do you? So.
There's a lot of stuff, unfortunately, that's lost for everyone to not see on video. I try to do the best I can with having what someone pulls up, what someone talks about. Brian loves to pull up the film while we talk, but that's really hard to get that across on an audio podcast. So the hardest thing is just making sure that you guys can follow us without missing any context. That is the hardest thing, and I think eventually we'll probably get there. It's just it's time in the post editing room.
Yep, and we don't have a lot of time because we all, weirdly enough, have full-time jobs. Outside of
to put it into perspective, it's like we all do our full-time jobs. We all have lives outside of doing all the stuff we do. On top of watching a movie, which could be between an hour and a half to 2.5 to 3 hours. Then you talk about that. Then you talk about the movie for 2 hours to 3 hours. Sometimes I remember Henry's was almost 4. That was crazy.
That was a great episode.
I love that episode.
And like Jonesy, I think that was like 3.5.
3.5. It was 4 after everything, but yeah, it was.
Well, Jonesy and I talked for 5 fucking hours on a fucking stream the other.
I watched that one. Yeah, I was chiseling ice out of my gutter that day. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You had a shitty day that day.
I was 20 feet in the air with a fucking chisel and a hammer because it clogged, and I'm there like.
But we didn't even realize it was 5 hours, and that's kind of how we do. Is like. We have our day jobs and our lives and everything. Like we've got responsibilities, but we're pretty fucking good at it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But like all right, here's the time, here's the movie. we'll get together at this point. And we actually, if you guys want to know a little behind the scenes things, we don't talk about the film at all, like on chat.
We
The most
try
I've
not
said
to.
is like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah. I think Field of Lost Shoes was one of the ones I chimed in on. I was like, I can't do this, and Brian spoiled it.
Oh,
And thought
yeah.
it looked like a wedding film or a wedding filmography preview. Like we do that where sometimes we just can't take it anymore.
Right, we're just talking a little bit, but we don't. So our reactions when we get on the pod is like that's our raw like reactions the first time talking all as a group together. No matter if it's one or two of us or all four of us or with a guest, it's our raw reactions and we just talk about it. And I think it's better that way because I'll go back to this. I think a lot of shit on YouTube and just in general is so fucking overproduced and so fucking forced and fake. It's like, no. If you want to hear what us four fucking nerds think, we're going to just tell you how we talk to each other. And we're not going to edit that out. There's a couple words we have to edit out.
I mean, there's a couple things we have to because
they're God.
It's talking to each other like we do if we were in the same room to each other.
Exactly. And I think that's
why we rib each other as well. Yeah. So
exactly. We rib each other and dude, I've met Nate in real life. I've met Brian. We've all met each other in real life. We know each other and we talk the same amount of shit to each other in real life that we do just sitting here bullshitting about the films.
That is very true.
And like, because it's like, what are you gonna do? Punch me? No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. None of us are gonna punch anybody.
I mean, well, I don't know. Mike A might punch me in the cock if I mention MG42s one more time. It's my favorite fucking thing to do. I mean, you can hear it in my voice.
Well, he's so defeated at this point with that.
Well, he just walks into it, and then my fucking
and then as soon as he walks into it, his expression goes from here to normal joke because he knows you're gonna fucking.
Well, Brian and I, because Brian and I are pretty much from the same region, and culturally, if you find out someone's annoyed by something, you twist the knife. You twist the knife, you punch it in, and you twist it, and you don't stop, and you twist words, and you go, well, "Why would you do that? I don't know why you keep mentioning all the guns."
I don't know why you would come after me with a fucking
and it's gaslighting 101. I mean,
oh god, yeah, the Northeast. The Northeast is a fucking. I learned about that when I was in basic, and I didn't learn enough because you guys are fucking awful.
Yeah,
you guys are fucking terrible. But I mean, it's still fun. Like again. We've all, for a project, we were all in the same house. And the shit giving does not change.
I wish we could have done Scuttlebutt when we were all together, but it just was too much. It was just
I think we should do a live one soon with video.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be
we might do it for the 100 just depending. I mean, that's a special thing as well.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but it's the exact same shit. It's like we're just sitting there, fucking rib each other. We'll like hit each other and like whatever, like punch each other and shit. But it's not like an actual like kill punch. It's just like a fuck you, And it doesn't matter. It's like okay,
well,
you're overreacting, And
it's funny because when we did combat camera stuff, it was we had Jonesy there. Who I met in person. We had James, who was there.
Yep.
And I had never met you or Mike A in person.
In person, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And it was really funny because, like, I knew how because you and I have talked multiple times how our size and stuff like that. Because I mean, I'm not in incredible shape.
You're a fucking bear, though. You're a fucking like. Not the gay term, not the fucking gay term. You're just like you're a dude that I'm like, okay, if I fought you, I get my ass handed to me because I can't knock you over.
Yeah,
you're like what,
barrel chested,
6 feet, 6'1",
6'2". Oh, well, we'll round it up.
I think you're 6'1". We'll just be honest there, but you're 6'1" and you're just like built like fucking. You don't have broad shoulders, but you're just fucking built like a fucking. Brick shit house.
It's barrel chested.
Oh yeah, I mean, but you're like a fucking
Yeah.
bear. Like you're like literally like a grizzly bear. Like you just fucking whatever. And you know, James when he got there, he's like, "Man, you're a big son of a bitch."
Yeah.
You know, I gave him a hug and I was like, "How you doing?"
Dude,
James
it
is
was
an average.
it
He's
was
like
it
6
was so
foot.
funny because you ran up on me and I was not ready because I was unloading the car or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not kidding. You are bigger than me. Because
Right, yeah,
I'm
because
not
you
used
were
I'm
like, yeah,
not
I'm a
used
big
to
dude, and I'm like,
I'm not used to looking up when I talk to people.
right, and I'm like
So
Wisconsin fucking
right.
dipshit from the north, big, you know, just
Like and you're not like dwarfing me, but I still have to like I have to
no, but
tilt
yeah,
my head up. Yeah.
that's what
And it's just
James
funny.
said, and then Jonesy was actually taller than I expected him to be.
Same.
Jonesy was like,
Same.
because like he got out of his, hey Cody, that is my food, that is not your food. Go lay down, go lay
Eat
down.
the food. Cody, eat the food.
So Jonesy, he gets out of his vehicle, and it's like it was raining, you know, at that point, and then
Mhm.
it had just stopped, and he goes, "Shit, all right, cool, I got the right place."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Come here, fucker," and then he comes up to me, and I'm like, "This motherfucker is tall as shit.
Right.
He's a tall dude." And
You,
we hugged it out, you know, and
you
like,
see so you saw the windows, like the windows that you would overlook on the driveway at that place.
yep.
So he pulled up, and I don't think he was looking around to see if he was at the right place, and you hadn't walked
Yeah.
out yet. And I I went up to the window, and I'm just being stupid. I pulled up my shirt and pressed my chest up against it and went, ah, and he looked up, he went, eh.
Yeah, I'm at the right place. Yep. Yeah.
And he's only ever seen me like on a webcam talking to
Oh
him
yeah,
about
exactly.
all that shit. So it's
It is
just so
just like
funny.
whatever, but like I don't remember what the fuck I was doing, but like yeah, I was, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Come here, you motherfucker!" And then because I'm like, "Oh, he's very tall. Like he's like 6'1", 6'2", easy." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" So we hugged it out. We had a good hug, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, "All right, let's go inside into the AC." He's like, "Yeah, man, it's still hot as fuck up here, you know."
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
like, "Yeah, it
that
is." So let's go.
weekend, dude. That weekend
Dude,
was
that was
record
fucking.
breaking brutal.
That
And
was
it went,
that was
we
really
were
bad.
as we were. I mean, yeah, it's middle of July. Yeah, I know it was going to be hot, but I was not
Well, it was the
expecting.
end of July, and it's like that's the hottest point of the year. But
It was the end of July.
it
Yeah.
usually doesn't get that fucking bad.
No,
But it
no.
was just
Normally it's not, at least not up there all the way, because we were. I mean, it's not too different, but it's just like you don't expect it, and you're just like, oh my
But the
god.
jet stream, it doesn't. It goes down, and yeah, the whole
Yeah,
thing. But like,
yeah.
it's like Ohio when we were there in July and early August. That was fucking hot,
Yeah.
and it was sticky.
That was a level of brutal I haven't done in a long time.
Yeah,
And
and
I was definitely not in shape. I mean, I'm not in shape now, but I'm a lot better in shape than I was then.
I wasn't
Because
prepared for it because
after that event, I was like, oh, Reveille killed me.
yeah.
Oh man, I gained so much weight during
But
editing
still,
that.
like even still, it wouldn't have mattered because you're not acclimated to that. Because I was down there and I had been being very physically active last year.
Yes, you
I
were.
was
Yeah.
very, and it was dry though up here because of the forest fires. Fucked the jet stream over. We didn't get the humidity, and then when we get down there, I'm like, oh god.
Right.
I'm like, I am not acclimated to the humidity, and I need like a couple days, and then it's like, well, we're working tomorrow, and I'm like, fuck.
Right off the bat, I had zero sleep. It was
I know.
brutal.
Yeah,
That was awful.
you know that was bad too. And I wasn't sleeping well either because whenever I travel, I just don't sleep well
Mm-hmm.
unless I'm there for like 2 or 3 weeks and I can get used to it.
Right.
Texas was different. I actually slept very well there, and it was weird because I was also out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and there was like but no, like Combat Camera was awesome because I got to meet some of the favorite people in my life in person after being correspondents with somebody online. Like we're talking right now, but
Right, yeah.
you and I we're not sitting across from each other. It's different, right? It really is.
Yeah.
And and it was good to meet you, Jonesy, James. I had met Brian before on Reveille. I had met Mike before, and then meeting Peter and all the rest of the guys, in person, and Sean. It's
Yeah.
like fucking. This is so cool to just be here, and but it was fucking hot.
Yeah.
It was fucking hot.
Next time we meet up, we should like make sure it's like spring or fall, and it's like not crack ass, like whatever.
Well, I didn't mind it. It was refreshing, but it sucked.
We have to plan. I do want to try to plan something. I don't know about this year, but maybe if we can do it this year, it'd be great. But I do want to do something where it's the Scuttle crew getting together. Maybe we just do maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
In a place and actually do it in person and have it all set up and do stuff in that, because I think it'll have to be a really cool dynamic. But also the fact that we need to shoot Mike A's microphone. We need to destroy it and send it back to hell. We
should ask Jonesy. He's out tonight. He's having a good time with his wife, rightfully so. They're finally having a date night because they got 5 kids, man. He's got 5 kids. Yeah, fuck him. Fuck Jonesy for fucking, 5 kids. And
fucking simp. Jesus.
You fucking retard. What are you doing? Yeah. But no, so he's out tonight, so he's not watching. He usually watches these, but I think Jonesy's got some property, so we should run it by him.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'd love to bring some stuff at him for him to fuck with too. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. I sent him a package. I told you what I sent him, but don't say it here.
Yeah,
but I sent him a package, and then I also sent Don a package, and that should be there tomorrow. So we'll see how he reacts. But no, it's
in a Waffle House, Jesus.
Dude, we have to go.
I'm still listening. I can still talk. I'm gonna get one more of these.
Yeah, we have to do it south of the Mason-Dixon line so we can. Oh my God, we should do an episode in a fucking Waffle House. I'm not fucking with you like that. I know. I know, but like
we've only done 89 episodes together. I know when you're fucking with me.
We should actually. All I have to do is ask the people, like, can we get this booth and we're gonna set up a fucking pod studio for a couple hours and eat a lot of food, and we'll give you a good tip. Can we just fucking do this? Because here's the thing. If we did a fucking live Scuttlebutt episode in a Waffle House later at night, you have to do it then. It's like you have to do it then. And a fight breaks out and we just keep going on. And it's in the background. You can hear the fucking silverware flinging against the wall.
You can get these units that have dual mics that shoot. They're like directional mics. And you can put them on a table. That's what they're meant for.
Yeah, I know.
It would capture a lot of background. You have some of those?
I have those stands, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I have them. And I only have 2 of them, but that's what we use.
Brian would probably say unequivocally no, but we'll see.
No, here's the thing. Okay, whoever is not a pussy enough, if we all watched a movie, went to a Waffle House, a Wahow, and it was like fucking 11 at night, and we just fucking requested, and they're like, yeah, go ahead. And we did a fucking... That would be so awesome. Like, if there's a fight, or when there's a fight in the background.
This movie's a fucking stupid masterpiece. Yeah, I'll have the Full House with extra bacon.
Yeah, nice waffle. Put pecans and chocolate chips in there, please. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus, God, that's...
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you're at a Wahow. You don't fuck around. you no.
I haven't been to. I'm south of the line, and I haven't been to a Waffle House in probably like 15 years at this point. Because you avoided them 20 years ago,
dude. Yeah, I know. That's the whole point. We should take $3,000 worth of podcast equipment. And throw it on a fucking booth in a Wahow and just record as we're eating.
This is a stick up. We're taking all your material. Okay, well, just keep recording, please.
Right. It's like, okay, we're doing a pod. Yeah, can we just? You guys good or all right? Yeah,
we'll good. All right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, what the fuck you got over there? It's like, you're not taking my equipment. I will kill you for that. But if you want to stick up to Wahow, and get into a fight with these people she's about to throw a fucking bar stool at you, go ahead, but can you just fuck off for a second? We've got work to do here, you know?
You'd have to like, I don't know. Yeah, God, that'd be.
No, seriously, we should figure out, because I'd be like, yeah, thank you. Can I get a 2 T-bones, 2 pork chops, some hash
Jesus
browns?
Christ.
Oh,
You're gonna
again,
go hard. You're gonna go
when
hard.
you're at a
man.
Wahoo, and I would get a salad, a chopped salad, or not a chopped
Oh,
salad,
I'm glad
salad
I'm glad you're balancing it out.
with French and blue cheese. I would get that.
Okay, now you countered it.
And my browns have to be smothered and covered. So that means you've got fucking ham in there, ham chunks, and it's smothered in American cheese right before they serve it to you. Yeah. I'll get that. You can gag all you want, you fucking fag.
And then what?
Like,
then we go to Thai and go do a bang bang? Like, is that?
Yes. Oh my, we should.
Because
that's a
call. That's a call out to a theme we did a couple times to guests until I think we had someone go, I don't know what the fuck that is. We're like, okay, maybe we should stop
bang bang
referencing it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's from Louis the show. And
no, I know, no, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm just saying, like,
no,
I think we did it to Henry, and he thought we were asking if he was going to bang his wife or something like that.
Yeah. He was like, "What?" And we explained it to him. He's like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good." And I'm like, "It's not. It's not."
He kept coming up with like weird like combinations, and he kept like almost got it like multiple times.
It's like, dude. So for those of you who are listening, ex post facto or right now, a bang bang is from the show Louis. Louis C.K. made this amazing show. Actually, it's fucking amazing. Him and his brother on the show, they go to one restaurant and they eat a full meal. And then they immediately go to another restaurant that's a different genre of food. They chose Indian diner. So they went to an Indian restaurant, massacred that meal, and then went to a diner and got a fucking full meal there. That's a bang bang. And so we've been talking about this on podcast and live streams before. We should
the chat's funny. The chat's
no, dude, Waffle House is I really pity people who have never been to a Waffle House. I really do. Because
is that a Northeast thing?
Waffle House?
Or is that well no. I mean, like, sorry, not Northeast. I'm sorry. I misspoke. An East Coast thing.
Not having
there's Waffle Houses up north, dude. There's Waffle Houses up north.
They drew a pretty big line. They might have them up on the east or northeast.
I wasn't sure if it's like that. If it's those chains that just don't exist.
So
when
you go to flyover country, it's the Mason-Dixon line. You're not going to find a fucking Waffle House north of the Mason-Dixon line. You will not. I've tried. I've looked. Doesn't exist. Whatever.
Look right now.
Yeah, look right now. I guarantee you I'm right. And so it's all down south. And Waffle House is the diner that everybody wants to have near them. Who's been to the South, I guess. Okay, we're unpacking a lot of shit here. Because I spent a lot of time in the southern United States when I was a kid and like in my adult life. Waffle House, I love it, and I wish it was here all the time. They're not. And it's because of the franchise things, and like the owner didn't want it to go too far where it was like fucked. But
Take a look at that. You might want to share that.
What? Yeah.
You're right though. It literally just stopped. I mean, they're in PA because I've seen them in PA, but there's only like a handful.
Okay, this motherfucker. You're knocking shit off my desk. Go lay down. Go lay down.
Does yours do that where they'll push stuff off to get your attention? Because mine does
fucking
that too.
did that, and I'm pissed. You go lay down. Oh, I can see your little fucking beady eyes in the reflection. Lay down.
Stay in your hole.
Yeah. But so Waffle House though is probably one of the most American things I can possibly think of. Because if you're there past 9 p.m., even a lot of times earlier, and there's not fucking cop lights out in front in the parking lot,
Yeah.
You're not at an actual Waffle House.
I love Steven's comment, even though he corrected. He goes, "I live in PA and I have seen a waffle in PA." Correction, I mean a Waffle House.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I love that though. It's like you've just seen a waffle in PA.
Dude, they're fucking. If you go there and you order,
because I remember seeing them in PA traveling up to New Hampshire.
Yeah, so I didn't know
they're very rare.
Very northeast. Rare. You know, it's like down here. I'm like, I just want to fucking. But here's the thing: is in the South, it's every fucking half mile there's a Waffle House.
Yeah, you. I'm looking at Wisconsin, dude. It like ends at the fucking.
It ends in Illinois. It ends in southern Illinois. Look at that.
No, I know that. I'm looking at Wisconsin. It like stops at your borders. There's a few all around in Ohio and south of Wisconsin.
You don't know how to read a fucking map. You're fucking retarded.
Oh fuck, that's Michigan. Damn it! I'm looking at.
You're fucking retarded.
This small, dude.
I said it's southern part of Illinois. Okay, so Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas.
Okay, I'm stupid. It's okay.
They have them in Denver. Oh my god. Okay, more excuses to go to Colorado. But that's where WAHO fucking exists. It exists in the south of Illinois, down south, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's one every half mile. You can guarantee when you're driving in the southern United States, southeast, that there's going to be a fucking WAHO.
It looks like it goes around. It looks like it goes around West Virginia. like they refuse to be in West Virginia.
Oh shit. Well, also, I didn't know they had that many in fucking. Dude, where we were at in Ohio, they had a fucking WAHO near there.
Dude, there's thousands in Ohio.
I didn't fucking see a. Maybe I did. I just didn't give a shit. But like,
yeah.
No, that.
And it might have been there. I thought there was a Waffle House in the town we were in.
There probably.
But I avoid them like the plague, so I never like.
Really I don't avoid them like the. So, okay, so you said that you avoid them, but like, dude.
I mean, again, the last time I ate a Waffle House was 20 years ago. So.
Right, I go to a Waffle
You didn't eat at Domino's 20 years ago.
I'm expecting a certain thing that has not changed since I fucking went to them 25 years ago, right? For the first time. I expect the same goddamn thing, and I always get it. It's always the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistent. It's good. I know what the fuck I'm going to get when I order this. Smothered and covered hash browns. People in the comments, smothered and covered hash browns are the fucking way to go. You get chopped ham and you get fucking American cheese melted on top of that, and it kind of seals it in. Fucking amazing. And onions too. Onions in there. I forgot about that. Right. So that's what I would order. Like if we did this at a WAHO, I'd be totally fine with that. And so would they. We're like, we'll bring in like 3,000.
I think a couple of people here said that's probably not the weirdest thing that would happen.
Oh, it's definitely not the weirdest thing. They'd be like, oh shit, well at least got some semblance of peace here.
Right.
You know?
It's like we won't bother you, just
no, we're not gonna fucking bother you. We've got $3,000 worth of equipment in here. And all of a sudden people come in, while we're doing it and we're just having the podcast, and I've got my pork chops, I've got my fucking T-bones, got my hash browns here.
Nothing like an audio podcast of people eating while they talk.
Well, I'm not going to be like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk where I'm sitting there going, yeah, no, that's a fucking great slice. Yeah, great fucking slice. I'm not going to do that. It's not about that. It's just like, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to eat my fucking pork chops and my fucking T-bones, 2 of them each, with fucking A1 steak sauce. And I'm going to fucking enjoy that with my hash browns with ketchup on them. And we're going to be talking and I'll go, all right, yeah. Swallow. All right, here's what I think about this. We should definitely at least consider doing a fucking scuttlebutt live in a WAHO. We definitely should consider that. What is more American than that? Like, think about it. Oh, you can't think of anything because there's nothing. doing a fucking podcast, eating a bunch of amazing food, diner food in a podcast. There's nothing more
I'll
American
say
than
that
that.
maybe the only thing that could counter that would be like at a firing range, but you know.
Then you have to get up and shoot guns. Like, what the fuck?
Oh
That's
no.
not fun.
Yeah.
No, but you can't do a pod. If you're sitting around eating, you can do a podcast.
Right,
you're sitting around shooting guns. You're like, oh well. Yeah.
Gunshots are also very hard to fucking.
Very hard to like, yeah, reduce. But dude, we should at least consider.
Throw it on the table.
And here's the thing: if Brian or Mike doesn't want to do it, well, let's get Jonesy. Let's get fucking Sean. Sean would do it. Sean doesn't have a fucking problem with that. Sean's fucking like a fucking balls of steel. We could literally do a Scuttlebutt podcast in a Wahoo, and you cannot get more American than that.
Sean, like, give me a fucking bacon, egg, and cheese, and some goddamn fucking pancakes, you know.
And they'll do it, and he'll be like, "He's actually pretty fucking good." You know? Like that's what he'll do. He's actually pretty fucking good, you know. And he'll just
I went up to Brian's earlier last year to pick up some equipment and stuff. That I met up with him and Sean, and they took me to a diner. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was in Connecticut, and it was like filled with like Batman memorabilia. Like the whole they called it the Batman Deli, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is that?" And then literally, like I walk in, it's just Batman memorabilia. It's like comic, like just like everything from the last 30 years.
Yep.
And I was like, "This is gonna be bad food." That shit was really good.
Oh God,
it wasn't that bad. Yeah. But I was just like, "What the fuck?" And I remember sitting there like, I am a fish out of water, you know, because you know me and my accent, I don't sound like I'm from anywhere near here. And they're just like,
it doesn't fucking matter if you're at okay. The thing I like about the classic American diner is it doesn't matter where the fuck you're from. I'm going to do a Backstreet Boys kind of, you know, song. Where you're from, what you did. It doesn't matter, right? They don't give a flying fuck. If you're sitting down there, they're going to serve you. And it's going to be the food that you expect from a diner, which is fucking awesome.
Right.
It's always good. There's very few times that I've been to a diner, whether it's private or like a franchise, like a chain. So you went to a shitty Waffle House
20 years ago, and it probably was a shitty one. So yeah.
Yeah, because they do exist. But my point is, like, it's very rare that you go into an actual diner, an American diner, and you get something that is like so fucking gross. Like very rare.
Like the way I always say, if it's like a mom and pop diner, you'll never really have a bad experience.
Oh God, no. And even the chains, like most Wahoos are pretty fucking. They have a standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're their own franchise, yes, but like they have to maintain that, kind of like McDonald's, right? Some places you go to, the fries are undercooked or overcooked, or they don't do the burgers right, per se. That's not representative of the entire company,
right?
You know, and it's not their standard. Maybe this place just fucked up one batch and you happen to get it, whatever. But Wahoo is like, you go there and you're like, yeah, I want to order this, and this. And they're like, all right, cool. Bam.
Done.
They scream out the order to the cook. The cook knows. The cook places the jelly packets and shit and the ketchup packets on the fucking plate. And then, bam, starts cooking your fucking food right there in front of you. You see it being cooked. You know? And it's like, that's why, yeah, like you said, yeah. Hey, honey, hon, yep. Classic American diner. He's right.
Maryland is Han.
Yeah, it's Han. Yeah,
or, you know, sweetie, or here. It's always Han
or
here.
You know, darling. Yeah. It's, but that's true. When you walk into because American diners, they try to replicate them in like Europe and Asia and everything like that, in Africa and South America. They try to replicate them, but it's not.
Oh, that jogged my memory. I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You being the only one here, obviously, who's gone to Kuwait. Was there a Burger King named Burger Queen there when you were there?
I wasn't in the civilian part of Kuwait, but no.
Okay. I read somewhere recently that there was a Burger King franchise that didn't have the licensing to actually operate as a Burger King.
I heard that too.
But they had all the stuff, and it was named Burger Queen.
Yeah, I never went to one. I never saw one. But again,
okay. I read that the other day, and I forgot to ask you on Scuttle about that. It was bothering me.
Yeah, I wasn't. Most of the places, well, all the places I was at were military, and it's like
right, yeah.
The only place I was at that was civilian was Kuwait International Airport, Kuwait City, and then they
were just trying to get in and trying to get out. So
well, they funneled. We were watched. If you know that's putting it lightly, we were watched, and we had to go to a certain place, and then process, and then we got on a bus, and then it was guarded and everything. But flying into Kuwait City, it looked like Las Vegas or any kind of American city. It was so fucking lit, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't gonna be that bad. And then one of the guys that had been there before, he's like, this is just Kuwait City. This is not what it looks like up north.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, So I'm looking at Kuwait City, and then we land and do all that shit. But like, we had Burger King, right? They were licensed, but they used goat cheese, and it was really good when you could get it, because they would go there once a week, and they would deliver like Burger King, like burgers and a Whopper,
right?
Or whatever the fuck the Whopper. It was really good because we were so sick of the American food. And then I was telling another guy on Discord earlier that I ended up eating the Indian and the Iraqi food, and I never got sick from that shit because it was fresh. The shit we got when I was there, like in the situation we were, it was all Mermite.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 6 hours old by the time they served it. It was like the chemically just, oh god.
American Army. Did you have dietary restrictions at that point?
No, I didn't know at all that I had anything like that, and I would just get sick constantly. And then I would eat their food, and didn't get sick.
It would be fine.
Yeah, it was weird, but the American food has so much chemicals in it. It's so many preservatives.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like Waho and just American diners. It's like you go there and if I order it's not going to be a fucking Peter Luger's steak. I'm not expecting that,
Right.
But it's not. It's like I'm ordering a diner steak. I ordered it medium rare. Okay, cool. It's smaller. It's medium rare. Give me some fucking A1. I'm gonna destroy this bitch. That's how it goes.
I don't know why. To cycle back on the subject, I guess we had started with, but I forgot. You were starting to lead off. I don't know what threw us off. There might have been a comment or something about the Foley stuff.
Yeah.
You had said something about how I was trying to with the celery and the impact stuff. You had said something about like you were starting to do something, and I can't remember what kicked us off of that.
No worries.
Do you remember what you were trying to lead off with that?
I was just saying, like the Foley, you did a lot of Foley shit. I'm not gonna say we because you did that, and you did a lot of Foley shit, and you would send it to me, and you were like, yay or nay, and I'm like, no, or oh my god, yes.
Right.
That's
favorite. My favorite was combining, because I think we had talked about that. I think that was my one where we were talking about it, that I combined I combined celery with a green bell pepper with with a carrot and
the crunchy
and then a grapefruit that I like crushed really badly.
Yeah, it was mushy and crunchy at the same time, and that's where the sound effect for Mueller's face, like when he was sitting there like doing that, because that's what it would. Because we were talking about, I can't. Okay, hold on.
Don't make yourself.
No. You and I were talking in that situation back in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how I cannot stand teeth, eyes, or fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, yeah, but his teeth are blown out, and how would that sound? And I'm like, okay. And so we went and we went on a deep dive, and then you were like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm like, cool. And then you were like, "How does this sound?" And you sent that to me on my phone, and I just went, "Oh." I'm like, "It's good. It's good. We'll talk
Right.
later." Talk in a couple
Because
hours. I'm like,
I did
"Oh."
I did three of them. I just sat in. So I don't have like a professional recording thing. I just use what I use for Scuttlebutt,
Yeah.
and I made like a sound dampener. I put like a blanket over my chair and just sat there, and I'm like there like about to call him all a green pepper. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, and I'm watching, and I hit play, and I'm like, I have a lead up, and I just wait for him to go like this, and as he does this, I just go.
Yep.
And and then I did it again, and then I had another one, and then I had like two or three of those, and then what I did was I took when he slowly gets up and he's like, yeah, like that.
Oh.
I'm just like, I just start like grabbing the ends that I ripped in half and then start twisting them slowly.
Yeah,
and then I just did little effects to it, and Mike's just like, ah.
Well, because here's the thing is like you were asking me, like you were very good in your questions. You're like, how do you think teeth that were like just loose in the mouth would sound grinding against like a jawbone and the flesh? And I'm like, I don't know. And you were like, how does this sound? And then you said it to me, and I was like, oh God.
Because celery, depending on how you twist it or
Yeah.
how you manipulate it, it's like, to be graphic, it's like, you know, it's like cracking or sinew ripping or muscle tearing kind of noise.
It's like tendons, ligaments,
a lot of sound effect, a lot of Foley artists use it for breaking bones, multiple bones. Like if you were to fall down and break your ribs, like that kind of thing. It's slowly twisting it. Like I believe I used that for someone's injury in there.
Well, you had like 15 fucking recordings that you did, or so it was something insane like that, and you sent me every single one of them, and I'm just like, I don't want to listen to this because I know what you were doing with it, and I was like,
my favorite was just like, I think it was like the intestines popping out or something. I think it was Kevin's wound or something. I think it was Kevin's wound, and I like took a grapefruit and I was just like trying to like squish it when he's patting it, like things like that. It's so funny because you have to, just to get on the topic of filmography, it's like you have to, again, you have to experiment and you have to mess with things, and you know people think it's super complicated. It's really not. It's an idiot like me snapping fruit and vegetables in my basement.
Like, right. You know, and like we did a lot of experimentation because we're rookies. You know, we really don't have a lot of experience in the industry, but like we also have like YouTube and we can learn and like, okay, I can do this, you know, and like
I would counter that we don't have a lot of Hollywood experience in terms of like the industrial things. I would say we've probably done more than most people have ever.
Well, yeah, sure, and so you know that. Yes, I agree. But like,
you gotta lift yourself up a little bit, man. Come on.
We still need to learn. And like,
you're always learning.
We learn so much. We learn so much from doing that.
Yeah.
And
if you ever say you cannot, you're too good enough to learn anything, you need to retire from whatever you're doing because you're obviously at the master.
Oh yeah, if you ever think you're done learning, you got to rethink your own shit.
Yeah, you got to really rethink. You always can learn.
This. No, you haven't.
You can always learn. You can always do that. Shut up and learn, even if it's remedial stuff. Just shut up and learn and do it again. And then you'll learn stuff on the way. You'll learn what not to do again.
Oh God, yeah.
I always tell people that. Like I've had, because I work with a lot of contract stuff, and for me, I do that, and I'll have people going, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "Because I fucked with it enough to know." You know, I learned what not to do so fast, you know, or not so fast. I learned what not to do in general, and I know not to do that, so I just won't do that. Or I've made that mistake, and I've done those things. So it's like always be humble enough to learn, even if you think you know it all. Just go through the motions, and you'll learn something new. I guarantee it every time. So
learning is something that you should look forward to constantly. I know a lot of old people even who they constantly want to learn things, and you know, usually at a certain age, it's like, I can't learn that. I don't want to. No. When you stop wanting to learn, I think you're done.
Yeah.
And it's like a self-destructive behavior. Keep learning as long as you live, because you'll always learn something new. And it doesn't mean you're stupid if you learn something. It means you're smart, because you go,
Hmm.
oh shit, I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that. Yeah, now you know. Okay, so and then people will teach you. People are
Good.
people are
Yeah.
okay. On one hand, people are shitbags and people are fuckheads. On the other hand, people
That is,
people are
that is also very true. Yes.
people are also willing to teach you what they know. And that's why I've got friends like Nate and Brian and Mike A, and the small group of friends that I actually have. We always bounce shit off each other, always, constantly, because we go, I don't know, what would you do here, or what do you know about this? Do you know how to research this? Whatever it may be. It's like oh, um shit. Well, I don't know. So let me get back to you on that. And then we all learn together, and you learn things and you just keep going on to the next thing. Whether it's a small detail from history, whether it's how to work on your fucking car, okay? How to do anything, just constantly be learning, and it's like learn new things. It'll help you when you don't expect it to. It does,
Yeah.
and that's the cool thing is like when I meet old guys who are very successful people, old people in general rather, and they always have that want to learn. They're like, yeah, I'm 80 years old or I'm 90 years old, but I still want to learn. And it's like fucking A. And
Yeah.
that's what my grandmother was like, and that's what a lot of people that I know are like, and they were some of the smartest fucking people I've ever met because they always had that attitude in life. It's like just because you want to learn doesn't mean you're stupid and you don't oh, I don't know things. Oh god. No, learn. People are there to teach you, things are there to educate you. It's definitely doable. It's fucking awesome learning. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
So,
And you can always learn. And I learned a lot even just from doing Reveille. So just
yep,
like what
you learn a
Destiny
lot about
like.
everything yourself, things. Oh shit, this work. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, put yourself through experiences. Don't just sit there and fucking go, oh, this is benign. I don't matter. You do matter. And fucking go out there and put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like with Reveille, we were so uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Hmm. There
I
were, I
have an
mean,
idea, but
like a lot of my trepidation with Reveille was just the time frame of
yeah,
start to finish because I
but you
was
didn't know what
pulled
the fuck
in.
you were doing, and then you did it. It didn't work out in your favor. It worked out in the film's favor,
Mhm.
but then you learned from
It,
that.
it, it was it
You
was a,
know?
it was a sacrifice. I mean, I knew what I was
Yeah.
getting myself into. A lot of the thing was just sacrificed my time for the product that I thought was worth it. And the hardest thing was you know was was delivering in such a short time frame because
Yes,
we
that
didn't
was.
have that much
Yeah.
time from wrapping on the film to I think a couple months were wasted before I was pulled into the project, and then after that I was pulled in very last minute.
Yep.
And they're like, "Great, can you do this?" I'm like, "Cool." And they're like, "What do you have? What can you do, or what do I get from this?" "Oh, this." It's like, "Okay, well, when do you need this by?" "Oh, I need this in 4.5 months."
Yep.
You need and it's like we have a little bit done, and then it turned out that we scrapped everything that was done before and started from scratch
Yep.
again,
Yep.
and there were more setbacks and more things, but you
But you still
learn.
learn from it, and it's
but
like,
i learned but I learned the red flags for those things
yes,
through this
there you go.
project, and so that's the best thing I always tell people. It's like, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into in terms of the amount of work I'd have to do. And it turned out I had to sacrifice a lot of my time and a lot of my energy just to do it. And I
Yep.
did it. And I'm very proud of
Yeah,
the fact that
but
I pulled it
still, it's
off.
like that.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. Well, I was going to say there's just a lot of things I wish we could have done and worked on and fixed, but we didn't have the time or the funding for it. So we just had to make do with what we had to do.
Yep.
And I think I'm proud of that
Oh God, yeah.
for pulling the film out the way it is. There's, I mean, every artist is his own that every artist is his own worst critic, and so I look at my work and go, "This is a piece of crap." But that's just me, and that's my own critique and my flaw because I see everything. I see every flaw. I'm sure Michelangelo said the same thing about his work. So it's like
everybody on the project says that too because they're like, "Ah, fuck, this could have been better." But it's like, hey, we put our art out there, and people saw it, and a lot of people enjoyed it. Some people didn't, which is it's art. Who gives a fuck?
You're allowed to not like what I make.
Yeah, you are allowed, encouraged to not like it, but
you are lucky enough to have a voice and to use your voice the way you see fit. And if you want to say that the film is not great, that's fine. You have it and all your right to do it. But you don't know. But I did things to get this movie done that I'm very proud of, and I'll always be proud of that for that.
And you should be, rightfully so, because it was. I put in a hell of a lot more hours than I initially thought. Like
oh, dude, you put so many hours with.
But no, it's like
coexisting with me on those.
No. I'm just saying, like the whole project, I put in so many more hours than I initially thought because I didn't fucking know. But again, I'm willing to learn, and now I know. Okay. I know the process a little bit more now, and that's cool because, yeah, I was part of making a film, and cool. I have that. I'm very proud of it, and it's fucking cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I just jumped into it trying to learn something new.
Is that the cat or the dog?
The what?
Is that the cat or the dog I'm hearing?
Oh, it's my fucking chair. I gotta oil this.
Oh, it's the chair.
It's finally getting to squeaking mode.
I was like, what is that? I'm like, is that Cody?
So John Gillespie says, "Oh, fucking, this is amazing, Nate.
I saw,
Waffle House is a top 10 restaurant for me. Grilled chicken, bacon, cheese sandwich, triple order of hashies with a choco chip waffle, about 6,000 calories. But God, it's good. Fuck yes." This man knows how to fucking order at Waho. This man knows how to order there. Like, that's the way you do it. It's like, dude, yeah, we should probably consider.
Yeah, I'll work on Brian. I'm gonna have to give it some time, but I'll see.
Yeah, it's all good. Like I get that, but like I think if we, dude. You know what? Fuck 11 p.m. Let's go at like fucking midnight at 1.
God, that's
prime time.
That's like scum and villainy hour, dude. You really want to do it that
it's
time?
It's Mos Eisley, but you get you get whatever you want.
I'm so glad you got the reference too. I'm glad.
Oh yeah, no, I got it for sure. Yeah, I'm a fucking dipshit nerd like you are, but like no, that God. Just seeing all these comments about Waho, like we should probably fucking do that.
I am kind of shocked how many people are chiming in on it. It's funny.
Dude, Waho is a fucking dude. It's a staple in the Southeast United States and up, I guess, in the Northeast. Now that I've seen the map, which I didn't realize they went that far north. Hey, how about come over a little bit west, you fuckers?
I didn't realize how far west it went too.
But south and west.
That's what I mean. Like.
But they're not up here, and it pisses me off. I'm like, I would love to have a fucking Waho to go to. It's like, because they're open 24 hours.
Why don't you get a petition going to have one in Wisconsin?
Yeah, fucking petitions. Like, they probably happen. I don't give a shit. Like,
not that they work. I'm just saying, like, bring eyes.
It's not going to make a difference. But, like, dude, Waho is open 24 fucking hours a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go in there. One of the best memories I have of Waho is we flew down to fucking Hattie or Gulf what the fuck is the Mississippi somewhere. That's the capital of Mississippi. I actually cannot remember that and I feel horrible.
Beats me. I don't know.
Whatever the fucking Jackson. We flew into Jackson, Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like we got there at like 9 p.m. We drove for another like 3 fucking hours, and I'm like 14 at this time because we were going out to see my dad because he was deploying to Iraq, and he was at Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and we had to stay at a certain place and blah blah blah. And so we're fucking tired as shit. We've been traveling all day. We're hungry as fuck. And we pull over to a Waffle House and we get there and it's like fucking midnight, right?
Right.
It's pretty quiet actually. Unusual. There's people there eating and everything. People are loud and whatever. Who gives a shit? Nobody's being like out of hand.
Right.
And then we get there and I was just like, I didn't give a fuck. There was this chick that like was there who her dad was with my dad and she was hot as fuck, right? And I'm just like, the first time I meet her, I'm just like trying to mind my P's and Q's, but I'm like, I need a fucking double bacon cheeseburger with smothered onions. I need this and that, and then this.
I need a distraction.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just went down, and she goes, "Okay, honey, okay, all right, sugar." You know, she called me sugar, black chick, right? She's
They
like,
always,
all right, sugar.
yeah.
Yep, and she's like, all right, cool, got your order. That fucking order came out, and I just bit into that goddamn cheeseburger. It's like this is about like 12:30 in the morning, so this is like by the time I just went in and I fucking destroyed this burger. And it was one of the best experiences at Oahu I've ever had in my life because I was so fucking tired.
Right.
And I was just, I just want to see my dad. That was the whole thing. I was like, I just want to see my dad.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, I get to see him tomorrow, but I'm so hungry. And I just fucking went in and there's grease running down my face. You know, there's just shit, you know, everywhere. And there's fries, you know, I'm just like, you know, and that was one of the best burgers I've had in my life. Not necessarily quality, but like just, you know, being hungry, and they got my order perfect. Double bacon cheeseburger with fucking smothered onions. Fucking, I said put mayo on it too, because I like mayo. I'm a weirdo.
Okay, you're one of those freaks.
I said ketchup, mustard, mayo, fucking pickles, everything. Like just fucking throw the whole kitchen sink at it. No tomato. That's it. And they fucking did it, and it was so good. And we get done, and I looked down, and this chick was doing the same thing. You know, that was like my age. She was just like fucking going to town. And I'm like, cool. Nothing ever happened between us.
Right.
Nothing. I was so awkward. I'm just like, well, 14, God, you know, just fucking the retardation. And yeah.
I can sympathize. I mean, it was like, what, you're not playing Halo 2? Then we have nothing to talk about.
Right. And, yeah, it was just
that was my kryptonite.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah. But no, that was Oahu is it's got a great place in my heart. And then we went to Oahu again. I can got your message. We're good to go. I think I told you about this, but like we were like a bunch of kids in Florida. It was 2008, and I was in the army at that point, but like I hadn't shipped yet or whatever. And so we get there and we're all just like 17-year-old kids, right? We're drinking, you know, we got booze and we got fucked up. I mean, completely fucked up. And we stumble into Oahu at 2 a.m. and it's loud. There's people in there that are fucking hammered, out of control. But everybody's laughing, having a good time. And we're just like, these kids were like, we're trying to play it off like we're sober, you know, like we don't want the cops called on us. So we go in this Oahu.
Is that cool?
Oh yeah. We're just like, we're all stumbling, you know, like, okay, we're like completely fucked. And we sit down at this booth.
I'll have a burger, cheese.
Exactly. And we had a kid that was actually a foreign exchange student, and he was still like a foreign exchange student. He could not drink or do anything illegal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was so worried, and he's just like, look at me, and he goes, I think I want one of everything. I'm like, all right, dude. Here's how you, whatever. And then I was like pointing things out. We ended up getting like a fucking table, like the whole fucking booth table was full of food.
Right.
A spread. We ate it all. We're all 17-year-old fucking dudes, just annihilating food at 2 a.m. And there's these people that are fucking just as wasted, if not more, than we are, making a scene. But everybody's doing all right. No fights, and we finish our food, and then the guy from Germany goes really quick. He goes, honestly, this would never happen in Germany. This is fucking amazing. He's like, this is fucking awesome. Every place is closed by 10 p.m. There's no way this would happen. He goes, I feel better now, but I'm very tired. And I'm like, yeah, well, we're gonna pay. And it was only like $30 for 4 of us, like
Oh,
it was
really?
dirt cheap.
That's not bad.
We left a
I
half
wonder
a
if
tip.
it's still like that. Probably not, but
Well, I mean, it's probably the same dollar amount with
Right,
inflation and all that shit,
yeah,
but like it was like 20 bucks for all of us, and then I left like a fucking $10 or $15 tip, and we left and we went home or back to the hotel or the condo we were staying at, and we just fucking were out. Wake up in the morning, and then the guy's like, that was the most amazing fucking experience I think you can have. I was like, welcome to America.
yeah.
That's what you do. You stumble into a Waffle House, underage, completely shit-faced at 2 a.m,
Demolishing food.
in a place where none of us reside.
Right.
And you walk in there, they serve you food. It's amazing. And then you fucking eat and you leave. And yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. I saw Richard's response. He's with Stapleton. Those guys are normally right next to me on most of the events that we do, which is funny. And I'm curious if he's watching live, what rank are you, man? Because I don't want to dox you, but what rank are you? And I might know who you are, like automatically, which is kind of funny. But
no, it's a small world. Reenacting is a small world,
dude. It's like that really is. I either he was a 29th reenactor or he just knows like the East Coast.
So I showed Ray, the guy that I've told you about a million times, like my mentor in reenacting, and like the guy that does the mess sergeant impression for World War I.
Yeah.
I showed him the clip from Combat Camera that you had put together about Phil and his whole crew.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "Is that Phil so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I know him."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, fuck." And so we watched it. He goes, "That's fucking awesome."
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking amazing. And
I'm glad he liked it then, because I'm really happy how that one turned out. I mean, that's a small segment in the whole entire feature that's going to be in there. It's not going as fast as I wish it would, but because we all have lives and we're all doing stuff, and things have happened since then. But no, we're hoping to get that out this year. Hopefully, that's the goal.
And it's but like with Phil's segment, Ray was watching that and he's like, well, they had a lot of these in World War II, and I'm like, fair, but he's like, well, they did it, like, let's be honest, and he's like, but that is fucking awesome that you guys got the footage. And I told him about Cooper and Sawyer and how they were like, they had their modern cameras like mocked up as Rolleiflexes, and he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like everything had to be at 100% or you weren't allowed on the scene. And, so I was like, yeah, here's how they got that. And then Cooper and Sawyer are really good people to document things and just like get everything. And then Sawyer is a little bit more outgoing. It's nothing against Cooper. It's just Cooper usually is sitting there going,
Cooper's doing it in a professional manner. Sawyer's doing it as a total nerd and enthusiast.
He loves
handling it like a job. And so Cooper's getting the shots, but Sawyer's not shy about going up and getting.
No, and that's why there's a lot of good things that came out of Sawyer's footage when they were working together. And that's why they work so well together, is because Sawyer's just like, hey man, so does that slide out? And it's like somebody watching is like, well, how does that work? And then you see it and you're like, oh, and he goes, oh, right on. Like, yeah, oh, nice, And it's like, yes, so you need both of those guys in order to like document things that are happening, because they both get good footage, and Sawyer is way more like just the fucking, oh, I'm geeking out, I love this shit, and Cooper is more of the like, all right, the footage is there. Awesome.
Cooper's got the coverage of the
exactly
of a professional manner. And Sawyer is there as like a handy camera operator. Is the best way.
Exactly, and they work so well together. And it's funny because they're brothers. Usually, a lot of brothers either are neutral or they fight. But like, it was so awesome watching them work magic. Like, those guys are really good at what they do.
It's also really funny to have two guys who can do Family Guy impressions back to front to each other in a room.
Fucking Coop.
And they're just going back, and it's like listening to Seth MacFarlane by himself in a room because them two are going back.
And then did you hear when I was like, oh, sweet Oscar guys? And then they both, they looked at
they both turned around really fast. Yeah.
And I'm like,
they were very happy about that.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Sawyer's like, I remember because I was next to your guys' room because I was in the downstairs bathroom unpacking all the film for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And loading it for hours and hours and hours. And I could hear you guys training each other in there, which was so funny.
Sweet Jesus, Jesse.
Oh, Jesus.
Say, you want to see my Purple Heart? Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And we were just doing that. And like, Cooper and Sawyer and I were just going back and forth. And also we're like, I'm really fucking tired, man. Like, we should probably, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we need to go to sleep. Like,
yeah.
It was just one of those things. It's like, we got to go to sleep immediately. We were just sitting there fucking around. Like, because I love the way that place was set up, actually, because you were out there doing your shit. You had to maintain the cameras, all your equipment as well, your combat equipment. And like, you were out there in my room and their room.
And it was vintage cameras, not digital, not stuff.
Oh yeah, I should preface that with that.
1940s.
Yeah, no, you were maintaining equipment. That's tough. And so you're sitting out there, and I could just tell, like, oh fuck, he's still up, and I'm still up, and then all of a sudden, you hear the door open, and Sawyer's like, "You still up? Yeah, okay." And I go out, and then we just start bullshitting.
Yeah,
it's just like. Yeah,
I was up normally way past everyone else, still unfucking and maintaining.
Yep.
And trying to figure out problems.
Oh yeah.
That will be in the documentary, but it's like
we know
it was brutal. Yeah, it was brutal.
And because here's the thing is, I did not sleep most of those nights because I was like, again, when I travel, I don't sleep well, so I was up every like 20 minutes, and I was just like, and I'd hear you, and then I'm like, oh fuck, what time is it? Oh, he'll go to bed soon. And I go back to sleep for like 20 minutes, wake up, like, oh, damn it. Okay. It's 20 minutes from.
Yeah, you were waking up in like cold sweats occasionally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was just like, okay. All right. And I'm like taking a piss.
I remember it was like 3 a.m. one time, and you came out, you're like, are you still up? I'm like, it needs to be done. Like, it's not going to go. And we have to get up at 5. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like,
yeah. And then I was just like,
I'm gonna plug myself in and fall asleep, and then just wake up immediately.
Because the one morning that you actually got a few hours of sleep, we were just like,
I didn't wear my sleep apparatus.
Do I turn him on his side because he's really not doing well right now? I don't know if he's actually breathing.
Yeah, those were that's the moment.
Yeah. Oh, and the one time before we go, because I know you gotta go, but like the one time, I think it was you, me, and Max were back at the house, and you had like this coughing fit of some sort. And, and I just like got up. I'm like, "Are you gonna fucking make it?"
Yeah. So I'll just give a quick story because it's funny. I think was I hiccuping and coughing? Was it one of those things? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So I long story short, I had a car accident. I shattered my hand, and I had to go under for surgery. And they nicked my esophagus, putting trachea or whatever the fuck it is, the thing that fucking sucks. And they stuck it in. I guess they nicked my trachea, and it scarred. It like I like a day after I got out of surgery, I'm recovering, and I'm like, I just get these hiccups. And they're violent. Oh,
God. Like, that's what woke me up initially.
Convulsive.
Well, because I hear from the other room, I hear like I can't even do it. I can't mimic it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's
the fuck is that?
If I try to set it off, it could not stop because I can do it on command occasionally.
Don't do it. Don't do
it. It's when I'm exhausted and tired. It's when your throat. It's like you just can't control it. And what happens is that I'll either have hiccups that make me cough, or I'll cough and give myself a spasm. It doesn't happen every time. Like I can cough and I can hiccup and it can be completely different. But when the moon's align, I can go into spasms where I just hiccup and then I start coughing, or I cough
Really
and I start
loud.
hiccuping really
Like,
loudly.
it sounds like
and I
you're
can't stop.
dying. Yeah.
And it was right after surgery, I was recovering, and I just started having hiccups, and I had hiccups. I'm not exaggerating. Almost 7 days straight. It would stop when I would try to fall asleep. It would stop, but the moment I get up, I would be hiccuping, and I remember like my arms in a sling like this, and I'm playing a lot of RTSs because I'm in college and I'm trying to keep myself busy. I had to drop all my classes because they wouldn't let me. They were like, "Oh, you can't write. Fuck you." It's like, and I'm left-handed, and it's just like, okay, fuck you. And I'm sitting there playing RTSs with my roommate, and I'm just like, yeah. So they're flanking over the base. So if you go over here, they're gonna like it was constant. He's like, "Will you shut the fuck up?" I'm like, I can't help it. It's just gonna keep going, and if we don't, like, imagine all day. I started losing my mind by day 4, and I remember I called the doctor, and I was just like, "Please leave a message." It was like a Saturday, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey doc, you really gotta help me. It just keeps, go. I can't. I just won't stop hiccuping. I can't." Like, it was like that.
Well, that's awful. What when we were down there, like, because Max was he was upstairs, and I was like going to sleep, and I'm like, finally I can get a couple hours, like 2 or 3 hours, and then all of a sudden I hear you like coughing violently. And then doing the massive hiccups.
I just did it a little bit.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it again. I'll set myself off. Yeah.
And so I hear you coughing violently, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's the dust, it's the humidity, whatever the fuck. And all of a sudden it doesn't stop, and the hiccups sound violent, and then the coughing is like, and so I'm like, I wake up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm in my underwear.
Max came all the way down from downstairs.
Yeah, and I'm in my underwear. I'm just sitting there, the flabalanche is hanging out. I'm just like, hey, that's what I call it. Yeah, the gut. And I'm like, what's going on, dude? Are you gonna die? Like, are you gonna make it? And you're like, yep, I'm gonna make something that. And then I'm like, do we need to go to the doctor? You're like, nope. You're like, your hand signaling to me, and then it recovered, and then
we're not don't have to
ceasefire. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Are you okay? And you're like, yep. And then all of a sudden you relax a little bit, and you're like, and then you explain the same thing that you just did.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
just a spasm that happens randomly. It happens like maybe every 8 months.
Well, and that's when I told Max. Remember when I told Max, like, because he's just kind of sitting there and he's like half asleep too, and he's just like, oh man, shit, I wish there was somebody who could help you. He's like, you're like, no. And then I'm like, well, when I have the hiccups, I just make myself throw up, and it gets that away. And then Max looks at me like,
yeah, I do remember that.
He's like, that's really aggressive.
And the hilarious part about that is that there's a photo somewhere of Mike doing this, and Max is in his armpit standing completely.
Oh, Max! It was Max and Dave.
So it's so hilarious to see him horrifyingly go.
Yeah, and like he just looks at me. He goes, "That's really aggressive." And I was like, "Yeah, but it works." And then he's like, "You really do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Nate, go gag yourself." You're like, "I can't." I don't know.
No.
And I'm like, okay, fine.
Through it. Yeah.
And then Max is just like, is he okay? And I'm like, he's fine. If he says he's fine, he's fine. And then eventually settled down, and I'm like, can I go to sleep now? And you're like, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
You just sit there and you go.
Yeah.
Like that.
You're like, go to sleep. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So I got like 3 hours that night. You probably got like an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get up in the morning, and I'm like, hey, you still alive? And I slapped you, and I'm like, you still alive?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're good. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, good memories. Nice. Like it's funny as shit. Like I'm just like, what the fuck is that noise? Like I've been awakened by a lot of weird
trying
noises.
To start a fucking 1970s tractor motor, It's like,
right.
Like...
That's and then Max to come down from upstairs is like, is he okay? I'm like, I don't know. Like
the back sputters. It goes.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was fucking hilarious, and no, it was because I think it was just us three there that night, and it was so funny. Max, I'm like, telling you. Yeah, well, I just usually make myself puke. Really? Yeah. That's so aggressive. Yes, it is. It is.
Oh,
But it stops. But
good
anyway,
shit.
yeah, good stream.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I
fucking-
gotta run.
Oh, no worries. Like we're a
But
half hour after.
I'll try to jump on. I'd like to jump on another time when like Les is on or something like that. God, he and I could talk about reenactor stories for
Les is a
days.
fucking fag, so we
Well, you
won't.
said I didn't do it. Say it. So
Again, we don't have Oklahoma on here, but I don't give a shit. Like,
right.
if they want to flag my stream, I don't monetize these anyway. If they want to
Right.
flag my stream for saying faggot or retard, go fucking good luck. Do your thing, whatever.
Flew under the radar this long.
No, it's how people actually talk. Sorry, that's the reality outside of Silicon Valley. My bad, fuckers. But anyway, YouTube, yeah. Hi. But yeah, anyway, yep, good stream for all those who joined us. So I do this every time now. Right before we get off, people that are watching and have been watching, thank you so much. You guys are fucking awesome. It's a Friday night.
Yes.
What is the keyword you want people to say if they're watching X Poso Facto in the comments? Don't think about it too hard. Just say a word.
Gunt.
Gunt. Gunt in the comments.
That's my favorite definition Mike's taught me over the last 2.5 years.
I taught you that word?
Yeah, I never heard that before.
Oh God, it's used so much in the military. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that fucking that the FUPA, yeah, everybody knows that, but like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a gunt if I've ever seen one. Tuck your fucking gunt in, your fucking gunt's hanging over your fucking belt, and I'm like, no, it's not. But I guess if you're not fucking anorexic and fucking dying,
Oh, you know what?
no, you can't change it.
Ah, fuck! I should have
It's
said
gunt.
that.
It's gunt.
I like his better, but yeah.
I know.
Gunt.
Hey, that's why I said don't think about it. You thought about it too
Yeah.
long. That's the
I did
problem.
think about it too long.
So
I didn't know you were waiting for me. I was waiting for you to say something. I thought you were going to call it that. I didn't know how to do it.
Oh God, no! I'll call it right now. So thanks everybody for watching. We will see you on the next, perhaps Friday Night Shite. We'll see.
Hopefully.